Hello and welcome to another community spotlight for Tag Talk. This episode we're focusing on Foam Dark Thunder, and my guest tonight is Big Al. So, what we've done previously, Al, is we've asked guests to sort of explain how they got into the hobby. I know you were on the first episode that we ever done, which was a bit of a train wreck, but thank you for participating in that. So, for those who didn't catch that one, do you want to give a little bit of a background as to how you got into the hobby there?
Hello there. Yeah, I've been in the hobby for quite a while, really. Probably picked up those blasters 2000. Uh, got into it through a lot of people of my age, through the kids playing with Nerf blasters in the house, and then just it kind of going from that and playing battles in the house and wondering how far I can take this and bigger and better, and then discovering hobby side of things. Probably got into the modding side of stuff like 2010, having already been collecting blasters for a number of years and big battles around the house with the kids and their friends. And yes, I discovered I was trying to decide what blaster to treat myself for Christmas with, and I couldn't decide between the Stampede or the Longshot. So I'm Googling reviews on the Nerf Longshot, and then all these modding videos appeared on the early days of YouTube. I think one of the very first videos I clicked on was an old video by Drac in his kind of dorm days, and it just blew my mind that this whole hobby based around collecting toys, modifying them, and playing with them. It was just like a perfect storm. Everything I love to do, and kind of been into cosplay and making stuff and things for years, and been a toy collector all my adult life, and yeah, just the fact of you can collect these toys, you can then tinker with them, and then get to play with them at the end of it. Just a perfect hobby. Just kind of went with it from there. Ended up discovered kind of Britnerf and Foam Dark Thunder about 2013 when they first kind of got off the ground. I'd already run a big event in 2012. By that point, all my kids' birthdays, we got access to an old office building place that some friend of a friend had access to. We ran a big players, and it's really cool. And that just kind of feel that I want to do this again and more often. And then kind of discovered Britnerf off the back of that, and Foam Dark Thunder. Foam Dark Thunder started in about 2013, and it'll be a couple of years before, I think it's 2015 before I went to my first event, because they were just doing kind of local events for a couple of years. And yeah, kind of got into it from there. So it was started back in 2013 by a guy called Neil. He, again, similar to myself, got into the hobby through his kids who were kind of Nerf daft, and they were playing in the house all the time. And he just had the idea of, what if I could hire somewhere for them to go play, somewhere bigger and a bit more adventurous. So he hired his local soft play. He ran a party for one of his kids' birthdays. And their friends came along. And yeah, it just kind of went from there. It was a massive success. I think he was asked by parents of other kids that were at that event, "Can you do it again? Can you do it again?" He kind of launched Foam Dark Thunder off the back of that. I think for the first couple of years, he just mainly did more of those kind of local parties, kids' birthday. Then he started doing the kids' birthday parties. Thing Foam Dark Thunder is it did kind of start off as a kids' party event company. There's a lot of them about. Foam Dark Thunder have been the only one that's kind of gone into Britnerf and kind of embraced the Britnerf community, and kind of let the players come along to the games and stuff, and run big public events, which are now kind of most well known for. So yeah, I think after a while doing soft plays and stuff, Leo then hired his local skate park. Had the idea of doing it in a skate park. And that's when I discovered From North Thunder was the skate park events through in Edinburgh. And I think I always remember turning up to my first event. Obviously, me and my eldest son at the time, we had a massive collection of blasters, we all painted and modified and all sorts. And up to the event, it was like the lobby scene out of the Matrix. These duffel bags full of bastards. All these kids running around the Mavericks and like find us, and Neo kind of clocked us coming in and kind of looked at us and came over to me and then, all right, you guys are kind of into this then. Yeah, so ended up some good friend of Neil, and in about 6 months was kind of helping out every games and became part of the team from that point. Uh, yeah, so did my wife Mel joined in as well, and yeah, within a year or so we were planning big massive events.
So, over the course of the history of Foam Dark Thunder, you've ran a lot of them. Most commonly for myself, we've got Terminal Infection and we've got the Battle Royale, which are the ones that we're currently running. What's been the sort of historically, what's been your favourite event that they've ever run?
The TIs are my favourite, definitely. The zombies are just next level. And kind of, it's the event that kind of put Foam Dark Thunder on the map, but in the kind of more international hobby, definitely. So we kind of, myself and Mel, we kind of joined the referee team, and then obviously became good friends with the owner Neil at the time, and the other member of the team was Rab. So there's kind of four of us, the kind of core members of the team. We were doing the skate park in Ocean Tunnel Mall, and we were doing an event there one night, and we were just having a coffee with the skate park owner before the event. And Neil kind of said, "Oh, I'd absolutely love to do an event in this mall one night." And the skate park manager kind of said, "Well, I've got a management meeting next week. I'll bring it up and see what they say." He did, and they were up for it. They just kind of snowballed from that. Before that, we'd obviously done the first big budget event was the Foam Dark Bunker. So there's some big videos on the YouTube channel for that. So Neil, the massive ideas guy, and he was very quite dynamic and on the go all the time, and lots of ideas. And then his house, this massive whiteboard of ideas, things to do and what to do next, idea plan and all this stuff. And he wanted Foam Dark Thunder to be a big franchise business. I think was the kind of dream goal at the end of the day. It's kind of come its own thing and settled into what it is now. And it's the first big thing was the Foam Dark Bunker, which was at the Scotland Secret Bunker, which is an old Cold War bunker for the British government, which is now a museum. It's up near St Andrews in Fife. They approached them about doing an event there. They got up for it. There's a few hoops who had to jump through. Obviously, it's a museum. There's lots of delicate things there, so there was areas that weren't allowed to go in. It was a bit kind of managed space we had to use, but what setting it was amazing. Neil also hired a professional film crew in to film that event, make a real big promo video for it. That was a couple of amazing videos and a few channels for that. Then started off outside in the big field surrounded by tanks and armoured troop carriers and missile launchers and smoke grenades going off. Then we moved into the bunker and did some gaming. A lot of work went into that, and it was kind of nerve-wracking. But everything went to plan on the night. We kind of overrun time-wise because it was so hard to kind of organise, and we ended up having to skip. We did have a plan of this kind of trilogy of games, which would start with the bunker, go to the mall, and then the third one, which we never got to because the mall was so good, we just got stuck with it. So the plan was to do a kind of a zombie mission, the final mission at the bunker, and then that would lead into zombies at the mall, big thing. And it was going to be a continuing story. Running through it, but we kind of overran on the night of the bunker game and didn't get to the zombie mission. And then when we did the Terminal Infection event with the zombies, it was such a massive success that between 2017 and 2019, it was kind of flying high. We had that kind of run of events. So the bunker was in August 2017, and the first terminal infection was November that year. The terminal infection event went viral. The first advertisement for that went totally viral, and likes the Foam Dot Thunder Facebook page went from 400 likes to 2,000 likes overnight, and we had like maybe 1,000 comments on the social media posts that were advertising it. We had Drac contacting saying, "Hey, I'll attend your event," and Project FPL came over, they flew over from America to this event and kind of really put Foam Dot Thunder on the map on the North scene anyway. And then we just did a string of those events, and then there was the stadium events as well, which I think was your first event, wasn't it? One of the stadium events. So we did the Edinburgh, Falkirk, and then a couple down in England as well. And they were they were going to be all over the country.
I got into the hobby just after the Falkirk Stadium event. Right. I think it'd been like 2 weeks before I sort of made contact and got involved. My first one was the iCombat one.
Is that the winter weekend event?
Yes, the winter Battle of Britnerf it was.
Yeah, so we ended up. Yeah, that was quite a big. So in 2019, that was the end of 2019, wasn't it? Yeah, so obviously, yeah, we'd had the string of other stadium events and OTI events, which were really popular. And then there was the first Foam Fest in 2019 as well, which was set up by myself and Mel and Theo from Foam Dart Thunder. We kind of ran it as a Foam Dart Thunder / Monkeytron event, the first Foam Fest. Because obviously I'd been out to getting to know Drac and stuff from him coming over here, then going over to America, and the Envo, Homecon and stuff. Quite friendly with those guys. And then Foam Fest. So when I came back from the FoamCon in America, I thought we'd been talking about doing like kind of Foam Fest, kind of convention type event in Britain for a couple of years by this point. Coming back from America, just feeling totally inspired. Thought we have to do it. And again, it was Neil who was filled with the ideas. He says, "Right, well, I'm booking this Wigan stadium to do a stadium event. Let's just book a suite at the football stadium and do Foam Fest. Just do it." Booked it. And I've done a thing. Let's put the event together. So it was kind of like, okay, let's do it. But at that point as well, Neil decided he was going to step away. He'd had a good, crazy few years. We were almost hitting burnout at that point. Over the 2 years, 2017 and 2019, I think me and myself and Mel did 82 events in 2 years. Literally 3 out of 4 weekends.
Yeah.
We also do the Comic Cons as well, and traveling to games outside and doing the Foam Dart Thunder. It was literally almost every weekend. It's just kind of got to the point where we need to slow down a bit. And Neil had obviously come to the same conclusion, then decided to step away. That's when David took over. So David does his histories in the kids' parties and kids' entertainment and stuff. He'd been a ref at Foam Dart Thunder and helping out and stuff for a good few years. So he knew all about it. He came and took over from me. They had to hand over that Foam Fest a year. So after 2019, they took over. So yeah, the leading up then that kind of the Foam Fest, the winter weekend was the next big event. And then we had lots of plans and everything for the following year. Then obviously the pandemic hit and just shut everything down. So yeah, obviously pandemic hits and everything. We could not do a thing. I don't think they actually did any events in 2020. It was the Foam Fest Live. Chef did the Foam Fest convention online. That was 20 and 21. And then I think the first Foam Dart Thunder game back, I think, was the end of 2021 when there was a bit of a gap. We did an outdoor event.
Skirmish
Paintball. just outside Edinburgh. And that was quite good because it was obviously an outdoor event. Uh, made things a bit easier wise with the restrictions that were kind of still vaguely in place. And yeah, that was good of it. It was just a shame the site owners weren't great to deal with in terms of us getting back in there, and we ended up just leaving it, which was unfortunate because the event that but yeah, that was obviously over the pandemic as well. Kind of Mel took a bit of a step back from the game organising because obviously we'd had that run up to 20 reasons. And Mel kind of took over Home Fest, kind of managing Home Fest really. So that kind of became her main focus in the hobby. And Rab, who was also part of the organising team, he kind of drifted away over COVID as well because he had changing jobs and different career stuff going on. So it was really just myself and David that left. So I'm kind of on board as the kind of main game organizer really. So runs everything behind the scenes and the bookings, fun games. Kind of being the one that actually plays me up a bit more. Yeah, so getting back into that was good. And then we got back to Ocean Terminal Mall, but fortunately the mall's seen better days and looking a bit tatty. We're getting a refurb done, so they were shutting down. So I think we've got 2, maybe 3 events back at Ocean Terminal after the pandemic, and then closed refurbishment due to open.
I think the first terminal infection back after the pandemic was the one at the St. John's. St.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. It's not even in my notes. A lot of red tape and hoops to jump through for that venue, which made it very difficult. David had a bit of a time with them getting that event over the line. Very, very corporate. Obviously, it being like the biggest, most expensive shopping mall in Scotland, maybe in the UK at the time. Maybe what we spent on that place, and they wanted every I and every T crossed to within an inch of its life. But yes, the event was very good. A lot of good fun. It was a long day. We did 3 sessions that day. First time we'd done 3 sessions at a big event. So that was a very, very long day. But it was fun. Obviously, coming back, we had those events in 2022 in Ocean Terminal. And then in 2023, we moved to the East Kilbride Mall. We did a few in 23. A few TI. No, we did 1 TI, maybe, at East Kilbride. And a couple of Battle Royales. We did a Halloween special as well. We also started the Foam Dart Thunder Pro events, which was cool. Started that in 2023. So that came about through David does a lot of tries to get promotional stuff from the marketing companies. So he goes contacts Eggshot, Damato and stuff. Try to get his hashtag free stuff sent over that we can use. Quite good.
Everybody wants free stuff.
That's only been brilliant and kind of proper kind of sponsorship deal with David and return for us promoting kind of dart zone blasters and stuff as much as we can. They sent some blasters and dart and stuff over, and they'd sent him all these pro blasters, and he was just like, "What we're going to do? We can't use these because they're all short darts and high powered blasters." Before we've had Foam Dart Thunder at its core, all good fun events, very child friendly, very family friendly. That's always what we've been about. Talked about doing the pro events and do something a bit more high powered for the hobbyists. The player base in Scotland's quite small compared to down south, and kind of especially further down south towards London, where they have a lot of high FPS events because they have 3/4 of the player, more than 3/4 of the player base within striking distance of those events. So they can sell 30, 40 tickets to an event, no problem, and hire a big venue. But just to hire a big high-powered venue and then sell a dozen tickets, it's not really worthwhile. So the pro events were difficult to get off the ground. I think we managed like 15, 16 players. So they didn't even kind of break even, really.
No.
But it was kind of need at least 20 players, I think, for it to be viable to kind of continue. So I'd like to try again. Obviously, something I kind of push with David because obviously I like the high-powered games as well, but to try and get a few more up this way. But obviously, like myself included, if we want to play high-powered, we have to drive 4 hours down south to the nearest game we can attend.
Yeah.
Regular, you'd have something a bit more on the doorstep, but difficult when we've got that kind of smaller player base.
Yeah.
Viable event, unfortunately.
But it's if people know that the hobby exists and they can get involved in the more family friendly side of things, then they can naturally progress, because that's what I done. I got involved in the 100 FPS category. Then I realised there was something higher up, and now, like you, I help out more than play. But I I love that, because it's just a case of it's great. You get the best of both worlds. You get to, like, you saw at the last event, we had a whole bunch of players like Paul, Dave, Spectre, Hazard. They turned up, and if they turned up to a big event, they'd be rocking up with the workers or their FTTs, whatever else it is. Folk are like, no, you know what? I'm going to round around with an unmodified rival because I just want to have fun. And you run around like full-grown men in tactical gear, running around like 5-year-old children, and it's glorious to see.
The more events always good for that.
It's
That's always well. We kind of, I would say, if we have more events, get more players in, we can maybe bring more to the more adult focused events. We also hit at the speed on Twitter with we just could not find the time to get any events in the calendar. I think we managed 3 events in 2024, if I'm correct.
I think it was a small number, yeah.
And it was just two of my day jobs. David, the new day job as well, which makes it pretty during the day. Big Foam Dark Thunder is just a side gig for David. He does have another full-time job, which takes up many hours. In 2024 it was hard. And myself as well. I started a new job a couple of years ago, so I don't have much time off as I used to do as well. And we just couldn't. And every time we find a window of opportunity, we thought, like, we've both got some time there. Look at this. We went to an event. We went to a venue and stuff, and happened to them, and then it would just break down. And the time we got something so organised with them, we were too busy again. That just happened all year, and we couldn't get any events off the ground. So they're kind of unfortunate. So coming out of that, hopefully, as you say, we're 3 already in the calendar for this year. We're trying to be a bit more proactive, a bit more planning ahead, rather than just waiting till we've got time and saying, "Oh, can we do it?" We're trying to get some in the calendar booked in, and we'll hopefully do that over the rest of the year as well. And as you say, that will hopefully bring players in, and then hopefully we can just try something a bit different. We can do this, and we might get some more players, and that might make the pro event a bit more viable, and something else we can do. So fingers crossed for that. We're good that, as you say, we got 2 East Combined events in. Now because the first one sold out very quickly.
It did.
Yeah, so that's encouraging. And fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll go back. We're going to do the Dunfermline event again, give it another go, and see if we can kind of do something different with that, or just kind of make it something different from the mobile game. It's different shaped space, and we'll see what we can do. We'll have to think about that just now as well. So if we could get that becomes a regular event, I'm sure we'll see how this network goes. More mobile games, and got an eye on doing the pro games as well. Yeah, so fingers crossed we get some more events this year. It has been difficult to find venues post-pandemic. One of the big things over COVID was we just lost all the skate parks. Like the skate parks we were using went out of business, and a couple of them reopened. We obviously they lost a lot of money, and they put it up to prices to be crazy, crazy prices that we can't afford. And lots of times we'll approach venues now, and they'll quote you prices that were 5 times what you would have expected 5 years ago, like just crazy money that even if you were to sell the tickets at 50 quid a head, you'd struggle to pay the fee. So trying to find venues post pandemic has been hard. So we've been lucky with the malls. Malls with online shopping, like everywhere else, aren't doing so well, and they're keen to get events in and get people in to see the place, and hopefully they'll come back and do some shopping. So they're keen for these kind of events and promoting things that they can do, which is really good because they're big spaces that just sit empty a lot of the time. So yeah, it's good to see. I see Full Montour down south, they're doing they kind of leaning into their mall games a lot as well. It's good fun. They got a lot of players, and yeah, they might not be the greatest in terms of space, but it's just a cool place to play. We're running about the mall with blasters, and when you get that many people in the same space, it just becomes an infectious fun. We're running about. So, but yeah, fingers crossed we can always on the lookout for cool venues, and it's always got ideas about places, or if I see somewhere, I'll message and say you should email this place or email that place and try it out. Yeah, fingers crossed, more venues, more opportunities.
So that sort of brings us to the end of this brief community spotlight on Foam Dark Thunder there. I'll have one final say. Is there anybody you want to mention, say thanks to, or shout out to?
Well, everyone on the team. You should all go and check out Foamfest as well. Foamfest is always supported by Foam Dark Thunder as well. It was my role at Foamfest last year was as Foam Dark Thunder. I was running a lot of the games during the day at the event under the Foam Dark Thunder banner at Foamfest. And yeah, it's just kind of try and showcase a hobby to everyone possible. So there's something for everyone there, from beginners, people who wanted to just come and try it out, to people who are into the hobby, to try harders who should know better, and everyone in between. Hopefully there's something for everyone there. We're doing that at Lancaster University this year in the end of July. But yeah, you check out Foamfest's website, foam-fest.co.uk, or Facebook page as well. On there, you should check it out. Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll hopefully things will come together in the next few months. We'll start announcing everything, get everything nailed down. Yeah, should be good fun.
No worries.
Been collected, although I'm not excited as I used to.
It's one of these things with having day jobs and requiring wages, and we can't just all run around with foam toys all the time. Just really disappointing thing about being an adult. 0 stars, would not recommend. No. So with that, just want to say thank you to Big Al for joining me, and we'll see you all in the next recording. Cheers.
Thank you very much.